Good morning, traders. I'm in Dublin right now. I'm just recording this on the go as I'm about to publish the video. So if you have any recommendation about Dublin, let me know in the comment below. If you're in the area, let me know as well for sure. Now for today's video, I want to talk about losing streak. It's a topic that people have a hard time dealing with. And I think it's really important to have strategies around it. So I collected some advice from traders to be able to hear right now. And that's going to be the video for today. Let's jump right into it.
I would write basically an individual trade journal entry for each of those trades, and that would literally be like an A4 page, a process thing that I followed through that also has the attached screenshots from before the trade was pulled, and then also what happened after the trade was pulled. So I can look over my shoulder in my office, and and I can, if I need cheering up, I can go and pull out a trade sheet from 10 odd years ago and still look at it, and I can look at how that trade happened and what was I thinking? What was I thinking with that trade? That was just clearly very poor. But the flip side of it is it can make me chuckle, but also what it does make me realize is exactly how far I've come. Right? It's sometimes people find that very hard to understand because they measure their progress just by the P&L of their account, and that's not always the best way to work, because then you start linking your self-worth and your self-confidence and your self-belief to your P&L, and that's never a smart way. But by being able to go back and look at what your trades were like 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, you can start to look at, you can take a bit of an objective perspective on exactly how far you've come, what you've learned, how you've developed as both, a trader and as a human being. There's a lot of satisfaction to be taken from that as you lean towards, what you're trying to improve going forward in the future. And any good business has to take an inventory, a couple of times a year to understand what they've got. In your own business, your inventory is, it's almost like your past trades and your IP, okay, in terms of what you've learned and how you've developed. And if you don't take the time to recognize that, well, then you forget what you've learned. You keep making the same mistakes again and again, unless you can able to go back and realize that how far you've come, how far you've developed, how you've changed, and how you've grown as a person and as a trader.
If you trade only a few things, your drawdowns are going to be bigger, and it's going to take more time for you to recover, like maybe months or like at least a few weeks to recover. So how have you dealt with this? Have you implemented more strategies, more setups?
Yeah, more strategies and more setups. The more markets thing is overrated, though. I think what you'll find, and there's data to support this, is if you trade more markets, the markets are fairly correlated. You're better off trading complementary systems, so like a trend trading system and a swing trading system or something like that, a breakout system and a reversion to the mean system or something like that. And one of the things I've learned is that it makes sense to break up your trade. So let's say, for example, you're taking a trade and you typically risk 2% on the trade. Well, and you have a trailing exit that gets you out of the trade, all right? Well, let's say that you take that same trade and you break it up into 4. One trade has a hard target of, say, 3R, so 3 times your risk. Another one is the typical trailing exit that you normally use. Another one might be one where you actually pyramid into it. So as the trade gets closer and closer to a target, you add more positions and maybe you keep moving it to break even. So if it comes back and retraces against you, you get popped out of that position at break even. But if it keeps accelerating towards your target, you make a whole bunch on that 1/4 of the trade, which is 0.5% risk. And then on another one, you might have a really easy to achieve target. So instead of 3R, 3 times your risk, you might have 1.5 times your risk or something like that.
One of the things I learned, I can't remember where I learned it from. If you have a situation where you are having a sudden, let's say, for example, I don't know, do you trade Forex?
Yeah, Forex.
Okay, Forex, okay. So remember when the Swiss franc against the US dollar, they came collapsing, and that happened to be long that day, or whatever it was, and I had a larger than normal loss. First thing I would do is pick up the phone, and I would call every single investor and say, listen, we've just had a humongous drawdown. It's outside the norm. I'm ringing you to explain why. I also do that for humongous profits. So that way they don't get conditioned thinking, okay, he's only going to pick up the phone. There's something wrong, right?
That's a very good point.
So that's one. The second thing is you need to be able to communicate with them. I communicated with my people at least every month for sure, and I will always produce a bit like Warren Buffett's annual letter, except that mine was a monthly one. I would always write to them. And remember, we only had about 22, 23 people in the fund. It wasn't exactly a large fund. So communicating with them is not hard.
How do you handle the drawdown?
It's something I don't worry about because I trade fairly small. Now, people coming in the Forex trading, I think they expect big money quickly.
Yeah, of course.
You can trade decent accounts, like 10,000, 20,000 accounts, and you don't have to trade like full standard lots. And I don't trade standard lots at all these days. I might get up to, if I've got a combination of trades on, I might get up to a stage where I've got a full standard lot or maybe 2 full lots on a trade, but generally mini lots, whether it's $1, $2, $3 a pip, that's fine. If I've got to give you any advice, trade small. Trade small. Drawdowns are not an issue. You're always going to get drawdowns, but having said that, years ago when I was system hopping like everyone else, I blew up accounts. Who doesn't? Yeah, that's part of it. You trade too big, take on too much risk. It's just, it's a hard one, but no, it's not. I don't have an issue with drawdown at
all. Do you ever face a losing streak? And I guess the follow-up question that's going to be, how do you handle them?
Losing streaks are normal in Forex. I don't handle them. I just go through them. I have basically, there's a whole mathematical side to trading. I'm not a good math guy, but some of my students are good math people, and one of them in particular has done a lot of the mathematical side of trading. If you have a 50% win rate or a 60% win rate or a 70% win rate in Forex, you're going to go through, statistically speaking, a losing streak of X amount of trades, which I'll tell you in a second. So that losing streak is perfectly normal. That losing streak would happen not just in Forex. It would happen if you're flipping a coin. It's going to land on heads 6 times in a row over the course of 1,000 flips. That's just normal. Or maybe 7 times, maybe 8 times in a row. So losing streaks just come down to probability. With a 50% strike rate, so a 50% win streak, you win 50% of your trades, which is low, but let's just say that's the number. Over the course of 100 trades, it's statistically normal to have a losing streak of 7 trades. Losing streaks are normal. It's just something that happens. If you're trading and you have a 50%, a 60%, a 70% win rate, it's normal to lose 3, 4, 5, 6 trades in a row. Yeah. So when I'm in the middle of a losing streak, I'm just like, this is normal. Yeah. Like I just keep trading because I know that next month I might have a win streak of 6 trades in a row, and I'll be like, yay, I've won 6 trades in a row. Awesome.
Yeah. And you have no reason to feel bad or like that you feel like you're a loser because you have 6 trades or 7 losing trades in a row.
No, it's just normal. It's just, that's trading.
Exactly.
It's the reality of trading. You are going to, I think we were talking about this over lunch. I think like Western civilization. So like, America, the UK, all these countries, where our economy, our countries are based on capitalism. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with capitalism. I'm just saying capitalist places, it's all about winning. You want to win, win. That's like what we're programmed to do from when we're kids is win, 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 win. And we feel bad when we lose. Yeah. But you kind of got to tweak your mindset when you come to trading. Trading is not about winning. It's about being profitable. And they're 2 different things. In trading, they're 2 different things. You can be profitable as a trader, winning only 40% of your trades. You can be very profitable. I know a trader who wins 30% of his trades, but he's still profitable. So he loses 70%, but he's a profitable trader. So what that trader has done is he has accepted that losing is a part of trading, and he's happy to lose because he knows at the end of the year, he's still going to make money.